How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing you guys my team preview. So let's get started. Of course, this is my IU team, so I'll show you them. So I'm using a Life Orb Electivire. I usually use it for physical attacking. So I've been thinking of replacing Flamethrower with Flame Punch, but it's been pretty helpful at most times. But let's get to the rest of his moves. Wild Charge, Earthquake, and Ice Punch. Now I'm thinking of replacing Wild Charge with Thunder Punch because there's a lot of recoil damage with Wild Charge. So yeah. Up next we have Aerodactyl, an amazing fighter. Life Orb Aerodactyl. It knows the moves Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, and Taunt. Pretty good when I'm up against a Shuckle. And next we have our two walls, Crustle, my physically defensive Pokemon, with Steady, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Toxic, and Rock Blast. The reason why I prefer Rock Blast over Stone Edge is actually I don't know why. I just have a better feeling over Stone Edge. Alright. Spirit, my special defensive wall, Spiritomb, with the moves Leftovers, Pressure, Will-O-Wisp, Foul Play, Paint Split, and Sucker Punch. I've been thinking of replacing Sucker Punch with something like, I don't know, Shadow Sneak, but Sucker Punch is pretty cool. And next we have Cryogonal. I've been planning on replacing Hidden Power Fire with Hidden Power Rock or Ground. And it knows the moves Ice Beam, Rapid Spin, and Recover. Pretty decent set, and it has the Icicle Plate. And up next is LILAGANT. Life Orb LILAGANT, knowing the moves Giga Drain, Quiver Dance, Sleep Powders, and Hidden Power Rock. Pretty decent, if you ask me. Alright, so that's my team, so let's get to the battle. How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing you guys Pokemon Showdown RU fight, so let's get started. I lead off my Aerodactyl and pulling off the Whimsicott, and it goes for a Toxic. I go for a Taunt, hoping that I'll speed it, but I was wrong. Opponent switches out into Quagsire, and I go for an opponent predicted my Stone Edge. I go for another Taunt, and the opponent goes straight for a Waterfall. I was trying to predict something like Toxic, but I was wrong. And I bring on my LILAGANT. Opponent switches out into Whimsicott, and I go for a Sleep Powder. And opponent's fast asleep. I go for a Quiver Dance and get my stat boosted. Opponent wakes up and goes for a Toxic. I go for my Hidden Power Rock, and it does about half. Opponent switches out into Smeargle. I go for another Hidden Power Rock, and it almost kills it. I go for a Giga Drain just to get some nice HP back, but it barely heals me up. Opponent brings out Scyther. I go for Hidden Power Rock, and I take the Scyther out. I almost die from the Toxic, and the opponent switches out into Quagsire. I go for a Giga Drain and take the Quagsire out. I'm healed up to about half health, but Toxic almost takes me down. I go for another Giga Drain and take out the Absol, and of course Toxic keeps doing jack ton damage. Opponent goes for substitute, stalling the Toxic down, and I go down from the Toxic. I bring out my Electivire. Opponent goes for a Leaf Seed, and I go for a Flamethrower just in case he made some plays, switching out to Hariyama, which Ice Punch could have done a decent amount anyways. Opponent goes for a Fake Out, almost doing a jack ton of damage, and the opponent's Toxic Orb activates, and I go for a Wild Charge, trying to get as much damage as possible. Opponent goes for a Facade and takes my Electivire out. I bring out my Spiritomb. One that can take almost any hit. Opponent goes for a Stone Edge, and I go for a Foul Play, and I take out the Hariyama. So yeah, LILAGANT was really helpful there, and real amazing. And also, I hit 42 subscribers. My God, amazing! I think they came from Sharkinator. So again, big thanks to you, Sharkinator. If not, then I don't know where they come from. Maybe they were just going around YouTube or some shit. But whatever. Like, favorite, and subscribe to become a shiny Pokemon, and I'll see you next time.